When I first heard the story of the town of Ravencroft, the idea of exploring this mysterious place with my friends Emma, Jack and Sarah excited me. However, what we read on the internet and learned from old newspaper clippings contained a series of frightening details about the dark past of the town. In the early 1920s, Ravencroft was a peaceful and quiet place. The townspeople were closely knit. Children spent their days playing in the streets, while their families went about their daily chores. In the center of the town, there was a large church managed by Sister Catherine. Sister Catherine was a respected figure among the townspeople, known for her calm and composed demeanor. However, this peaceful life was disrupted one day when one of the town's youngest members, Tommy, went missing. Following Tommy's disappearance, other children also began to vanish one by one. This situation plunged the townspeople into deep concern. At first, it was thought that the children had gotten lost in the forest, and extensive search efforts were initiated. However, as days passed, and no trace of the children was found, the townspeople's hope began to fade. Sister Catherine tried to boost the morale of the townspeople after the children went missing. However, her calm demeanor and the lack of any clues about the missing children disturbed some of the town's residents. Rumors quickly spread that evil spirits and dark forces were abducting the children. The elders of the town began to believe that there were evil entities dwelling deep within the forest. Over time, the town's association with these horrific events made the residents even more uneasy. Families began to leave their homes for the safety of their children. Ravencroft quickly turned into a ghost town. Abandoned houses, empty streets, and a silent church were the tangible traces of this abandonment. The investigations into the children's disappearances yielded no results. The curse of the town continued to maintain its mystery. These tragic events led to the complete abandonment of the town. All that remained were the eerie story of the town and the secrets behind the children's disappearances. With the abandonment of Ravencroft, the fear and horror experienced by the townspeople were buried in history. However, for curious souls like us, this story was just the beginning. After reading the story of the town of Ravencroft, Emma, Jack, Sarah, and I decided to investigate this mysterious place. Our curiosity about paranormal events drove us to uncover the secrets of this abandoned town. After completing our preparations, we set out to find the location of the town. After a long journey, we needed directions before reaching the town, so we stopped in a nearby small village. We entered the only grocery store in the village. Inside, an old man with a stern look was standing behind the counter. We approached him and asked for the location of Ravencroft. The man's eyes suddenly darkened, and a harsh expression appeared on his face. "Don't even think about going to Ravencroft," he said in a stern voice. "That town is cursed. The only thing you'll find there is death and horror." This warning made us even more curious, but at the same time we were also uneasy. The man's demeanor created a cold and threatening atmosphere. Jack gathered his courage and asked again, "We just want to know its location. We are researchers." The man sighed deeply and rubbed his face with his hands before speaking heavily. "All right, if you're determined, I'll give you the directions, but don't say I didn't warn you." Adam described the location of the town in detail, and then added, "But don't stay there for too long." Adam's cold demeanor and stern looks had instilled fear in all of us. Nevertheless, we continued on our way. When we arrived in Ravencroft, we were greeted by abandoned houses and silent streets. The atmosphere of the town was even more eerie than the stories we had read online. Every corner felt filled with tragedy and sorrow. When we reached the center of the town, we saw a large and old church. Its doors were heavy and rusty, as if they hadn't been opened in years. When we entered, we encountered the priests who were waiting for us. The priests explained that the reason they stayed in the town was to fight against demonic spirits. However, the cold and gloomy atmosphere of the church did not give us much confidence. Even though what the priest said made sense, we felt a sense of unease. As we wandered inside the church, old children's drawings and dusty toys hanging on the walls caught our attention. It was clear that this church was not an ordinary place of worship. When night fell, we retreated to the small rooms the priests had given us. However, finding peace was impossible. Whispers, shadows, and sudden cold waves wouldn't leave us alone. That night, Sarah noticed something strange. One of the stones on the church floor was slightly moving. Together, we lifted the stone, and a dark passage appeared. I exchanged glances with Emma and Jack. Filled with curiosity and fear, we decided to enter the passage. As we descended the narrow and cold stairs, a chilling air from below hit our faces. At the end of the passage, we encountered a scene illuminated by candles in a room. There were strange symbols and drawings on the walls. In the middle of the room, there were graves filled with the bodies of children who had disappeared years ago. We were breathless in the face of this horrifying scene. It was at that moment we understood the true nature of the priests. The priests had sacrificed these children in demonic rituals and used their souls to increase their powers. The moment we faced the horrifying truth, Priest Samuel and the others appeared before us. We wanted to escape, but it was too late. They captured us and took us prisoner. "You wanted to learn the secrets of Ravencroft," said Priest Samuel, in a mocking tone. "Now you will become part of this secret." After the priest tied us up, they began preparing the ritual area in the middle of the room. Priestess Catherine was murmuring ancient Latin prayers, with a knife in her hand. The fear and helplessness within us were growing with each passing minute. The demonic ritual was about to begin, and it seemed like we had no chance to escape. Priest Samuel approached us, saying, "We will offer your souls to our dark master." Each of us looked at one another, searching for a glimmer of hope. Just then, the sound of sirens from outside reignited a spark of hope. The lights of the police cars reflected off the dark walls of the church. The doors burst open with a loud noise, and the police entered. "Nobody move!" shouted a police officer. The priests and priestesses hesitated in shock, not knowing what to do. The police quickly sprang into action, untied the ropes binding us, and subdued the priests. In shock, we breathed a sigh of relief from being rescued. When the police discovered the hidden room beneath the church, the true faces of the priests were revealed. The bodies of the missing children and the evidence of the priestess's demonic rituals were in plain sight for everyone to see. A police officer approached us and said that if it weren't for the old man who brought you here, we might have been too late. At that moment, we realized that the old man who gave us directions was actually the one who saved us. The old man's harsh and cold demeanor stemmed from the pain of losing his daughter. He had been trying for years to uncover the truth behind her disappearance. And when he saw that we went to the town, he informed the police. The old man told us everything at his house in the village. "Years ago, my daughter also went missing," he said with tears in his eyes. "I suspected the church, but I could never find any evidence. When you didn't return for a long time, I decided to inform the police. With the truth coming to light, the curse of Ravencroft town ended. The souls of the missing children finally found peace." We, however, couldn't shake off the impact of what we experienced. For a long time,